Good morning, everybody. This is Mrs. Sopiarz-Rianda. Welcome back. I hope you are rested and ready to take on these last 3 weeks of the semester. It's pretty exciting. We only have really 2 more weeks of new material. That third week will be a intensive instruction week where you'll get the opportunity to submit some late work if you have any. And so this week and next week are really the last big push for the end of the semester. So what I want to do is just want to go through expectations for this week and next week. This week, now remember, I made this session available to you before fall break. And I did mention that if you wanted to work ahead, you could do that. Some people did, some people didn't. But this is the session that we are working on this week, which is Session 3, Touchstone Texts and Triads. And in this session, we are going to be moving quickly. Last 2 sessions, we've been working on identifying editorials, reading editorials, trying to figure out what the difference between an editorial, an argumentative, and a personal essay were, which you guys have been doing a fantastic job with. Last week, you took some really detailed notes about all the elements that writers use to craft their writing, and especially as far as it goes to editorial writing. What you're going to be doing this week is you're going to be using touchstone text, which is again that model text, to write your first draft of your editorial. So you will be completing really 3 pre-writing assignments this week. You're going to be generating a topic. You're going to be generating a topic. You're going to be doing some research, and you're going to be outlining and drafting your first draft of the editorial. Now, I want to make a special note that this session is due, as always, on Sunday, December 6th, which is our regular scheduled session, right? Well, starting next week, things will change a little bit. So a couple of really important announcements. We will not have a cumulative final exam in this course. So we will not have an exam that covers the entire course. Instead, what we're going to be doing and focusing on is that unit cumulative assessment, which is your editorial. The next session, session 4, will be our last new session for new work this semester. It will include your final editorial and your semester reflection. These assignments are going to be due on Friday, December 13th before midnight. Again, this is next week's sessions, and I want to make sure you're aware of it this week, because it is I'm not going to be able to give you that weekend next week to submit your work. So the work you do next week will be due next Friday. And for this reason, I'm going to make the session 4 available earlier to you. If you need those extra couple of days, if you usually like that weekend to work, I'm going to assign or make available session 4 to you earlier. So I'll make that probably available to you either Wednesday or Thursday this week. And then finally, expectations for that last week of school will be forthcoming. You'll have the opportunity, like I mentioned, to submit late work or to improve your grade. And if you don't want to do either, then it's a time to rest, basically. Okay? But that information will be forthcoming. So here's the schedule for this week. I highly recommend that you follow this schedule because this week and next week you have a lot to do, and we're moving pretty quickly. So you'll watch this weekly update video. You're going to review the material, and then you're going to complete part 1 in the editorial pre-writing assignment. Tomorrow you should complete part 2 in the editorial pre-writing assignment. Research your topic. On Wednesday, research your topic again. Complete part 3 of pre-writing, and then also submit it. Post to the discussion, respond to the discussion, write and submit your editorial first draft, and then again respond to the discussion. So this week, as you can tell, you're really focusing on that pre-writing for your editorial. There's a couple of things I just want to point out to you in this session. So this editorial writing assignment is again, your unit assessment for the end of this semester. Okay, so you will submit the final draft of your editorial on Friday, December 13th. It is worth 120 points. Right here are two very important documents. This document right here is the rubric for an editorial, and then this is an example of a student editorial. I highly recommend that you look these over before you start the writing process. It will help you understand what I am looking for in your editorial. On this next page, I just put the rubric there so that you can actually see what all those advanced elements are that are expected in your editorial. So be sure to review those before you start the writing process. So an editorial includes the following things. Your editorial should include the following things. Be sure to review all of those different elements of an editorial that you've been reading about. So the biggest assignment in this session is your pre-writing. And like I mentioned, there are really 3 assignments wrapped up into this pre-writing assignment. Number 1 is to pick your topic, and I gave you several topics to choose from. If you don't like any of these topics, then you can always choose a different topic. Just make sure you run it past me before you do. And then what you would do is, oops, let me pull that up right there. What you would do once you select your topic, you would open up this document and you would save it as, for example, Rianda, editorial pre-writing, and you would complete the topic portion of that assignment, and then you would save it. Next, after you've selected the topic, you're going to think about your audience, your purpose, and your strategies. You'll again open up that editorial pre-writing document that you just created and started with your topic in the page before, and then you would read the following information and then determine your audience, purpose, and strategy. Once you do that, you would again save that document. Now that you have your topic, your purpose, and strategy, it's time to refine your opinion or your thesis. Remember, your thesis is your position and point of the entire editorial. Your thesis should be in the introduction and avoid first-person I. Okay, so this is an example of a good thesis. The official driving age should be 18 in Colorado. Whether you agree with it or not, this is what the editorial is going to be about. And these are all examples of thesis statements that need work. I think the official driving age should be 18 in Colorado. This is not a good thesis statement because it has the words I think. First, you never in a thesis statement start it with words or phrases such as I believe or I think, or in this editorial you're going to learn about. Okay? And even worse, in this editorial you will learn why Colorado should increase their driving age to 18. So these are all examples of do not do, and this is an example of what your thesis should look like. So again, open up your editorial pre-writing document and complete part 2 thesis, and then click Save. And this is where you're going to be doing the research. Now you're going to research the web for credible sources on your topic. Read this article right here, attached below, and it helps you understand what credible sources are and how to complete internet research. Now, you guys that did this back in Unit 3 with your argumentative essay, so you should have practice in this, but this is just a little refresher. Once you are done, or sorry, when you are doing this research, what you need to do again is open up the editorial pre-writing document, conduct your research, and complete part 3 research. And then once you're done with that, you can submit your editorial pre-writing right here. So you can see your pre-writing is really several assignments kind of all together. In this assignment, you're going to, after completing your pre-writing, you should have a topic for your editorial in mind and some good ideas of what ideas you would like to share. So now you will select your touchstone text by clicking on this link right here, and it will help guide your writing for your essay. Your touchstone text will be your favorite essay that you read and analyze in this unit. So select your text and share your thoughts with your classmates by completing the following questions. And then you did this before, remember, in the Unit 2 with your This I Believe essay. And now it's time to submit your first draft of your editorial. Please spend only about 20 minutes on this. Submit your draft in the Dropbox. The goal here is simply to get your ideas flowing. Now the big thing I want you to understand that in your final draft, you need to review the information, the feedback I provide for you in this draft. So be sure that before you submit your final draft next week, that you come back and you look over the feedback that I give you in from this assignment. So if you have any questions about this week or next week, please let me know. Again, lots to do, so if you have any questions, just ask. Thanks.